Hi everyone, and welcome to Okay Seriously with Natasha, a show specifically created to be an open platform where anything goes. I am your host, Natasha Jamieson. This is my passion, and I hope that I inspire you to live your own. We have an exciting show for you today as I welcome my special guest, Janine Bowen. She is the co-founder of Her Collected, an incredible online community that helps assist and share life's hardships and successes by providing the tools to improve our lives. We will be openly discussing and shedding light on some of the personal and professional issues that we have in the world today. One thing is certain, she can help us ease into living on purpose. Janine, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so happy you're here.
I am too.
We kind of know each other a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
But I still love you. And I'm really happy that you're here.
I feel honored to be here.
Thank you. You know I've wanted to do a show like this for a long time.
Yes.
Because it's fun, it's real, it's authentic, and we can really help a lot of people and learn a lot about ourselves.
Absolutely.
So I have to ask you the first question.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What does living on purpose mean for you? You know it was coming.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course I knew. So for me, living on purpose means living an intentional life that is authentic, that is honest, that is not always easy.
No.
It's about having self-awareness, taking responsibility, and being of service to others.
That's what everybody should, like, that's the goal, isn't it? That should be the goal.
We want it to be the goal.
Because I always want to be of service to others. My intention is always, to do good and to empower. So thank you for sharing that for us, because it's really important to be your authentic self. But I want to know more about Her Collected. What was the intention behind Her Collected, which is phenomenal, an incredible mission, community, movement.
Yes. Well, Her Collected, I am one of two people.
Yes.
My partner is Loveleen Rye, and we got together because we wanted to create and be facilitators for, in particular, women who wanted to make or live their purpose. So as it relates to small business. So it came about, it was sort of my brainchild, or I was the one given the inspired thought. And so I brought this inspiration to her, and we began to work on the intricacies of how we were going to make this a real living business, and how within our business is to help other businesses elevate. So our intention is to create a community that supports these women and bringing like-minded people together to celebrate one another and make one another prosperous.
I love it, because that's what it's all about, is helping each other. And in doing that, you actually elevate yourself.
Yes.
So it's like a full circle.
It
you
is.
Give, you take, they have an intention, and then it just builds on itself.
Yes.
So in having these conversations, which are really important, you never realize that one word can change somebody's outlook instantly. What does the process that you had to go through to find your purpose look like? Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes you take detours. I do.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead. I'd like to know.
It's interesting because I think I've always been on purpose. However, I'm in the right river, but the boat that I should be in changes.
Of course.
So I always knew that I was going to be helping people.
Right.
And when I began, it looked like I would do it in the form of social work. And then I realized, well, that's not the right boat. And then it became the form of being an artist. So celebrating my artistry, and through that, doing it in the way of makeup, which really is a, immediate form of gratification.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And I realized, okay, that's not the right boat. And so sort of coming back to my roots of helping people long term.
Yes.
So I got into coaching, and that fits right in how I'm supposed to live my purpose. So I'm still helping people. That has never changed.
That's right.
but how I help people has changed because now it's sustainable.
That's right.
And with the tools that they're given and imparted with, they can then go on and
Yes.
live their purpose and help others.
That's right. They can navigate and be of service to others.
Yes.
Absolutely. Which is like the ultimate goal. We just said that, for sure. Sometimes it takes a team. Like when you find your new boat, your new
Yes.
vessel, your new direction,
Yes.
you want to share it.
Yes.
Because in that you really know yourself and where you need to go. So you have like some substantial couple of core values
Yes.
that are affiliated with Her Collective.
Yes.
That are very important, in my opinion, to
Yes.
share.
Our core values are respect, integrity, diversity, and inclusivity. And for me, they kind of go without saying.
Absolutely, yes.
They are our values individually and collectively. And in our community that we're building, we want that reflected. And that if you are going to be a part of Her,
Yes.
that you're open to these values and they speak to you.
You have to be in alignment, because I think that if somebody isn't or they're not ready, and that's okay.
Yes.
It's okay not to be ready.
Yes.
Because everybody has their own journey. Their boat is different.
Yes.
The speed is different,
Yes.
right?
Yes. They're in a
So
tugboat
that's
they're
okay.
in a
Listen,
rowboat.
They're in a boat. they're in a river on whatever boat. It's okay.
Yes.
Canoe, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
But they're heading somewhere.
Yes.
It just might not be in alignment, but they'll get there.
Yes.
And in turn, that's exactly the kind of like the support that you give,
Exactly.
which inspires so many women to want to do the same.
Yes.
I love that, Janine. I really do, because it's so important, because sometimes you don't get that support, as you know.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if you're male or female, from anybody.
Yeah.
You just don't get that sometimes. Sometimes
Yes.
you just need some place like Her Collected, to be able to give you a good, solid foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the topics that you tackle on your
Okay.
blog, because I love your blog.
Thank you.
And I just find it, it really resonated with me. So I thought, our viewers would love it as well. Why do you think our work environment has become so toxic, and in what way does it affect mental health and wellness?
Okay.
Especially now.
Especially now.
Yeah.
I think it goes without saying
Absolutely.
that we are in a time where we're all a little bit fragile.
Yes.
And more than ever, the expectations have increased in
Yes.
our employment. And because of the fragility of people's mindset and lifestyle right now, you're going to go one of two ways.
Yes.
You're going to go the path of negativity,
Yes.
or you're going to go the path of positivity. And
At least in flow. If you're not super, at
Yes.
least you're flowing and accepting. You're just going
yes,
with it.
I know. I'm like,
You know?
positivity may not be the right
Yeah,
word
just
because
people are watching. They may think it's too much. I can't go from
yes,
0 to 1,000.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
flow.
not that toxic positivity.
Right.
It's more so I accept, what I cannot change,
That's right.
and I am going to let go and allow the universe to take me.
That's right.
As opposed to I'm going to dig in to this negative frame of mind and I'm going to stay here.
And
So
spread
so to answer your question, my thought process about toxicity in the workforce is that it's reflective of every aspect of people's lives. In terms of being negative allows you to not take ownership for what's happening
Right.
to you.
Yeah.
It allows you to escape in the drama.
Yeah. Deflect it. Yeah. Deflect
Exactly. And you suck other people in. And depending on where those people are at, they'll be like, oh yes, I want to.
That's so
I'm
true.
coming into that so I can do the same.
Yeah.
Because once you start to, again, take ownership and be self-aware, you realize that, there's always two sides to a story.
Yeah.
And if your boss went off on you in the morning, you can take that and spread that throughout the whole office.
So quickly.
Or you can take a moment and breathe and have some compassion. Circle back, have a conversation with the perpetrator of your upset and find out what's going on with them.
Yeah.
So it's that compassion that is so easily forgotten about. And it's very easy to be negative. And there are those who choose to do what's easy because it's easy.
Yeah. They don't want accountability either.
And no one wants to have a certain level of, they see it as conflict or...
they fear it, or they're uncomfortable with it.
Yes.
Or, again,
confrontation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That they might not be able to navigate from. What are some of the ways in which we can identify and deal with problem coworkers? So there's tons of them. They're able to spread it around.
Yes.
Now, how do you deal with them? Because that's really difficult.
And
we have to go to work every single day.
We do.
It's a constant.
And, just to add to that, it's like for many entrepreneurs, you have your other business is your side hustle. And your main, having a full-time 9-to-5 traditional job is what's paying the bills. Mm-hmm. And I always tell my clients, you need to respect your job until you can make the leap. And in that environment, there are those who are going to bring their negativity. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of like you need to assess who is in your circle of work. Know the perpetrators. Mm-hmm. And try to avoid, be pleasant, be compassionate, but try to avoid them. And if you do have that person who you have a constant interaction with, it is about taking the responsibility to have that confrontation. Yeah. Or addressing the issue. We say confrontation and it has such
it scares people.
A negative connotation, but it really is about
conversation.
Addressing the issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finding out what is that person's intention.
What is your intention in
with
doing
your
ABC?
Behavior, with those words you said, and letting them know how that behavior has affected you. And asking them, is that your intention? Is your intention to make me feel that way? Right. 9 times out of 10, when you address things that way, it's going to shut it down.
Shut it down really fast.
Yes, because you've now just called someone out in a very respectful way.
Yes.
That's allowed them to be okay. They're okay, and you're okay.
And now they need...
But now they know you're not going to tolerate it.
Right.
And they're going to have to answer, and they don't want to. Yeah. So, and it's an easy fix.
Yeah. Sometimes they need to kind of go away from it, think about it, and go internally, even if it hurts, and then kind of revisit it and continue the conversation.
Absolutely.
So what is the best way to protect ourselves? So we kind of have a conversation. We'll call it a conversation. What is your intention? Was your intention to make me feel this way? And now what?
The next it depends
they could come at you different.
Yes, it depends on the, it leaves very little room for them to come for you, for lack of a better term. It is, no, my intention was not to do that. Okay. And it's just, I'm letting you know that that's how it was received. Right. Moving forward, perhaps, and we talk about alternatives. Mm-hmm. Very few people are that dedicated to their misery that they are going to go out of their way to collectively make your life that miserable. But there are those who are.
Manipulators.
Yes. Because that...
They can flip it on you.
That is their... I don't want to say goal, but that's where they live. They live in that house.
Motivation, unfortunately.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
And for whatever reasons. And that's where, depending on where you work, is where you start to have to utilize your HR department.
Yes. Have it recorded, maybe.
Yes. And having those conversations and letting people know, I just need to let you know this is happening. Mm-hmm. These are the conversations I've had.
Right.
If we need to move forward, I'm letting you know.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Because that's their job now. Yeah.
So I think that's really good because sometimes they can flip the script on you. They can be one way to your face and then go, backwards and make a complaint against you as well. So just to be prepared and be aware that you don't have to be like the victim. Yes. You can actually take responsibility and have a civil conversation.
Yes.
And then just move forward from that.
And also to add to that, just not being naive to your point of being like, I had a really great conversation. It went really well. You also have to protect yourself.
That's right. Facts,
Stay
please.
with the facts.
That's right. No emotion in this.
Yes.
So this kind of seems to me like that you need to kind of go with your internal intuition.
Yes.
I'm huge on that. Like you have to feel the situation. If somebody's like coming in hot, it's not the time maybe, you know? So at what point in your life did you learn to navigate through your intuition and feeling? And what happened when you realized it? I feel like it's life-changing. It was for me.
Yes. I think for me, it was, being a young woman, and my life experience, there was a time when I was quite angry, more than needed. Well, not more than needed, but more than now, reflecting back, and how that affected my opportunities.
Oh, yes.
And at some point, I love therapy and I preach it and I tell people they should go for it because it is healing. Therapy is the gift you give yourself, I call
Therapy
it.
is the gift you give yourself.
Because when you've gone through trauma, if you do not deal with it, that trauma will forever determine your experiences. And the whole idea is to grow from it, to learn from it, to move forward.
That's true.
Not to allow it to take away your future.
Yeah.
So therapy, and through therapy, just meditation, finding my spiritual side and exploring that. And once I started to meditate and listen to higher vibrational information via books, via service, it elevates you.
Yeah, it does. It becomes clearer, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like easier to understand and decipher. Like instinctively, you kind of know.
And understanding what that niggling is. Like, you're like, it was always there.
That's right.
It was always there.
People ignore it.
Yes. You didn't know how to tune in and listen. Yeah. And once you learn that and allow that to be your guide, you can't fail.
Yeah.
Because we're all here to win, for lack of a better term. We're here to win, and if you follow your intuition, it will lead you.
And it's beneficial for you and for somebody else. It's like a full circle moment. It's beneficial for everybody, right? Because in that lesson, everybody learns something. What is the kindest and worst thing a person has done to you? And what did you learn from it, from its impact?
The kindest. It's sad, but thinking of the kindest thing someone's ever done to me is harder than the worst.
Really?
And that is just the nature of... I feel like I get little bouts or little bits of kindness on a regular basis. So nothing that is been so over the top kind that I'm like, oh my goodness, you changed my life. More so, daily sips of kindness I receive. And I think in terms of the opposite, that would be the people that we love the most.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And in my belief system, there's a reason.
Always.
You needed to learn those lessons. They teach you the most valuable lessons so you can catapult forward.
Yeah, absolutely. People are in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Yes.
So this is just building on what we're talking about. The pain comes from putting them in the wrong category.
Yes.
It can literally affect your happiness. And happiness is not something from somewhere else.
No.
It's inside.
So
let's talk about that. What are the experiences that affirm that statement?
Okay. Experiences. So in terms of my own happiness, I grew up as an only child. So it was always just me.
It's you.
In, your imagination and in your creative space. So I learned that my job was to be happy and to make other people happy. And that's not necessarily a good thing, because then your happiness gets askew.
Yes.
Because if you haven't made someone happy, then you didn't do your job.
That's right.
But it's not our job to make other people happy.
I was just going to say, no, it's not our job.
Yes. And I clearly I learned that lesson. And for me, it is just knowing that I'm responsible for me and every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
So if I want a better life, then that needs to come from within.
That's right.
Because everything you put out comes back to you.
It does.
Yeah.
People think they get what they want. You get what you are.
Yes.
You don't get what you want.
Yes.
You get what you are.
Yes.
So happiness or anything else.
Yes.
But I think that, like, because I mean, you know, we've talked about this before. I used to think, like, this was a few years back, that, you know, if I achieved that or if I accomplished that, that would bring me happiness.
Yes.
Now, I'm thankful I learned.
Yes.
And I'm coming from a very different space right now. But that used to be me. What we're talking about
Yes.
is in the world. Like, it used to be me. Until I really solidify, like, I was solid in myself and understood that nobody can make me happy.
No.
It's a state of mind. It's like an essence. It's like a being. It's like an energy in me.
Yes.
So.
And it's also, why would you put that in somebody else's hands?
Exactly. No, it doesn't. It doesn't belong in somebody else's hands.
No, and it's such a precious thing that your happiness be, you know, yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's all about your own growth, your happiness, your sadness. It all belongs to you.
It does. But some people are just living in that existence and they're thinking that it's from, like, maybe they're like, you know, suffering or saddened in some way.
Well,
so what is the factor that's missing for them?
Well, I think a lot of people live in survival mode.
They do.
So they're surviving a traumatic child experience. They're surviving a bad marriage. They're surviving whatever trauma has happened to them.
It's not healed.
It's not healed. And that's where it comes down to. Therapy is the gift you give yourself. Go get help and know that there's no stigma attached to
Absolutely.
working through your issues so that you can come through the other side.
Yeah.
And find your happiness and live in that and know that it's not going to come from a bag, a car,
Never.
a person.
Never. It never does.
Because you keep
It's this world that we're living in that's like the bigger, better, more expensive, more money, you know, like, you know, elevation in career, but it really has nothing to do with that. You could have all the money in the world and everything, you know, and even your health, like that and your happiness, the most important things. Because if you don't have that, what do you really have? You have to really look hard and deep in that.
Yes.
So if you've seen my show before, you know we've come to the end.
Yes.
Right? So I always ask my takeaway for our lovely viewers, a couple of points as a takeaway for them.
Okay.
I know you have a lot.
I know I have so many.
Just pick a few.
Okay. I guess some key things are purpose. If you don't feel like you're happy in your work or content and something is consistently
poking
at you to do something different, you know that you know what you love.
Yeah.
You know you're supposed to do something different.
That's right.
You just have to be brave.
Be brave. To listen to that
calling. To listen to that calling.
Yeah.
And not worry about what everybody else is going to say, think. Because everybody's going to have an opinion about what you do.
I have a statement for that, but
Yes.
I don't think it's... I should say it on camera.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I think I know that statement.
You know that. I think you know that statement. But
so, you know, it really is about deciding what is best for you. Living your truth. Living it authentically. Living it in your space and in your way so that you can wake up each day, look at yourself in the mirror and know that you have done your very best for yourself.
And you're worth it.
Yes.
And you deserve it.
And when you bring your best self forward, you can be there for your family, for your friends, for the community. And that's my takeaway.
I love it. Thank you so much. That's all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much, Janine, for coming on the show and sharing your incredible mission. We wish you continued success.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
You and Loveliness.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and to subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you next time.